What's going on, everyone? Farmer Z here. What do we got cooking today? Well, I hesitate to call it a mod review, but it's going to be more or less a mod demonstration. So hang around. I'm going to show you guys some of the mods that I use most frequently to make the job most efficient. We are back on the Red River Valley farm that I just built, and I'm going to use this farm not necessarily to start a Let's Play series or anything like that, but to do a bit of a mod showcase or a mod demonstration today. So I'm going to focus today on cutting grass, so production of or collection of either grass or hay, with the eventual purpose of mixing it into TMR for cow feed. So I want to show you guys some of the frequent mods that I use to make the job more efficient, more effective, and make life easier on you. Alright, so for the first mod, we're going to go into this Easy Cut Special mower. So if you look at it here, it is $125,000. It has an 18-meter working width, and I guess the second mod goes hand in hand with this, which is the working speed mod. I use this quite frequently. You can adjust the speed in which you use your implements, which makes farming faster and, in my eyes, funner. So I've got the working speed mod turned on, as you'll see here, and then the main mod I want to showcase right now is this Easy Cut Special, and let's get to it. Alright, so let's get her hooked up and in position, and we will start cutting. I do not have seasons turned on, and I want to produce, I don't know, maybe half grass and half hay on this field, so we will use a tedder and a windrower next after we're done cutting to get, the proportions of hay and grass that we want to put into our TMR mixer. But for now, let's get this Easy Cut mower unfolded. I hope I don't hit the light pole there. Just barely cleared it. And I will show y'all how awesome it is to cut with this thing. So we're making moves. We got our speed turned up. And look at this 18-meter cutting width. I mean, this is awesome. We'll have this field cut in no time flat. I absolutely love this mod. Use it quite often anytime I'm doing anything with usually cows, right? That's one of your main reasons you'd want to produce grass and or hay, but this thing gets her done. Alright, we are nearly done. I've been recording for just at 15 minutes, so to put things in perspective in terms of how quickly I was able to get this field mowed, we did the intro, we opened up the video, we went to the store and bought the mower. That probably took a couple of minutes off the beginning of the video, so, and we got a couple of minutes left here to finish up, but right around 15 minutes using this mod, along with the increased working speed mod, to mow a 15-acre field. So if you're a PC player, you'll have to forgive me if you're a console player. I do not know if this mod is on the mod hub. Anybody who is a console player and perhaps knows of this mod on the mod hub, please leave me a comment. Anyways, if you're a PC player and you are doing a farm that requires grass and or hay and you aren't working this quickly, you might want to consider it. Now, I anticipate many of you might tell me you would rather use the Big M mower. Fair. It doesn't cut quite as wide, but it does leave a swath drop, right? So especially if you're playing seasons, there's a benefit there, because you don't have to ted the grass in seasons. As long as you cut it when it's semi-dry, it will dry out overnight and turn into hay on its own. So the benefit there would be that it's already swath dropped and you could bale it or pick it up easier, whereas this mod does not do the swath dropping. However, another mod that I'm going to cover here in a moment is the Follow Me mod. There was no reason why you couldn't just use the Follow Me mod and have another tractor right behind you windrowing if you needed, or if you were going to skip the step of tedding the grass and go straight to baling or collecting. You could have a worker using the Follow Me mod right behind you with a windrower and be just as efficient as the Big M mower, I guess, specifically from the standpoint of having everything already windrowed or swath dropped. And this is still kind of a fraction of the price of the Big M. And like I say, I think it has a better working width as well. So, there's always different ways to go about things on this game. That's one of the things I love about this game. However, anticipating perhaps some questions and comments there and comparing it to the Big M mower, I certainly think there are pros and cons, and if swath dropping was a concern, I would use the Follow Me mod and have a windrower right behind me. So with that, let's start figuring out our next steps here. We're going to do some tedding and, of course, some windrowing. I'm not going to ted it all, like I said before. I want to leave some of it as grass to put into this fermenting silo, which, by the way, while we are on the topic of TMR or silage production, another mod that I highly recommend. You can just collect the grass. You can put grass into here. You could do hay as well, but I'm just going to save myself the step on the portion of the field that I know I want to put into this fermenting silo. Why waste the time to ted it when I can just put it in here as grass? So anyways, this is another great mod. You put the grass or hay in. It takes time to process and has two outputs, digestate and, of course, the silage that you need for your TMR. So let's fast forward through time here. I will go get the tedder hooked up and show you the windrower mod I'm going to showcase here, and then we'll get to that part of it. Alright guys, I tedded for the most part off camera. I don't know if I said that right. Is that how you pronounce it? Tedded? Is that a word? I did the tedding. Is that better? Or teddering? Who knows? You guys get the point. I did a majority of it off camera. Reason being, I'm just using an in-game tedder. I don't have a tedder as part of my mod showcase today, so I want to spend more of the time on the two potential windrowing and collecting methods that we're about to get into here. Real quick though, before we get into that, if you like the content, if you like the idea for the video today, give me a thumbs up and a comment. Be honest with y'all, it's a little bit of a downtime right now. Kind of everybody's anticipating and eager for FS22 to come out, myself included. I do plan on putting out FS22 content as soon as it comes out, so I'm just a little hesitant to commit to too much on Farming Simulator 19 right now in terms of starting another Let's Play series. So I had the idea, since I'm doing these farm builds, had the idea to put one of these farms that I've built just to a little bit of use by way of, mod showcases. And I don't want to call it a mod review because, typically most of the mod reviews I see, they'll talk about the mod, they'll talk about who did the mod, they'll give you some statistics on the mod, and that's about it, right? You don't get to kind of see it in action. So I thought it'd be a cool idea to put some of these mods to work, let you guys see them in action. Let me know what you think about this. Give me a thumbs up, give me a comment if you like it, or if you hate it, or whatever. Would just love your feedback. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Would love to have you stick around and hit that notification bell so you know when I post new content. And with that, we'll get into the windrowing. So the mod or mods that we have the options of using here would first be the obvious, right? This Windrower. Let's go ahead and adjust our working speed per usual. There we go. 18-meter working width once again, right? So if you remember the mower, it also had an 18-meter working width. The Windrower is the exact same. And then I'm also going to buy this Forage Wagon. This guy is pretty slick because it has a Windrower built in. So some of you might be saying, well, wouldn't this be the obvious choice then for your windrowing and collection process? Not so much, at least not in my opinion. It's a little bit unruly to control when you're navigating around the farm, at least for me, in my experiences. Let me drive over here to the trailer and I'll try to show you what I'm talking about. So it's got these arms hanging off the side. The mod creator, I think, did turn collisions off for those arms. So yeah, you can see it. It's going right through the middle of the windrower there and not, you know, there's no collision detected. So you can kind of back it into a garage. For me, I just think that's kind of goofy and weird when you've got these arms sticking up into, or sometimes even outside of, above your shops or your garages or your sheds. And again, when you're going through like the silos to drop things off, it just looks a little goofy. So that's personal preference. That'll be up to all of you in terms of your comfort level or preference level with that. But let me get things set up here and then we'll give this thing a test run and show you what it's made of. Okay, pretty much ready and in position. Let's get going here. The working width for this is not listed like it is for the Windrower. So like I said on the Windrower, 18-meter working width. I'm gonna kind of do a dare to compare. We'll do one pass with this, and we're picking up the grass side of the field right now. And then we'll do another pass with the Windrower, and we will see if it looks like they're about the same. I'm thinking they probably are. It looks about the same as the Windrower and the width that the mower was. So I'm thinking it's around the 18-meter working width. But as you can see, it's just rowing everything in. We're cruising along at 22 miles per hour, and it's loading it all up into the trailer. Another benefit of this mod, for those of you who like realism, may turn you off of it a little bit, but is the capacity. I think it's a 1,000,000 liter capacity. So you can pick up some grass or hay with this bad boy. All right. So let's get this one unloaded. We just did that one pass with it, and like I said, it just looks a little clunky. You can see collision detection is turned off with these arms here, but if you're not a fan of it going through your silo or your storage space, then this may not be the mod for you. If you don't care, then it might be perfect, because it's certainly a very efficient method of picking up and picking a lot up in a hurry. All right, so Windrower in position, and I'll kind of show you the alternative suggestion for collecting the hay here over on this side of the field. And we've just got a separate tractor with a loading wagon behind it. And we're going to use the Follow Me mod. So first what you have to do is you got to get everything set up. So we got to lower the pickup. We got to turn on the Forage Wagon. We have to have it all ready to go. And then you just press the right control and F, and they get overzealous sometimes. So don't be surprised by the fact that he just ran into me. But you get yourself into the tractor in front of them, and they'll just follow behind you picking up. So here we are windrowing, and they're just right behind us to pick up. I will say this, it does look like perhaps the loading wagon over there to the right that we just tested, even though it doesn't list a working width, just kind of giving it the eyeball test, I think it probably does have a wider working width than this 18-meter Windrower. But in any event, there's more than one way to do things. Comes down to preference and comfort level. And as you can see, This way works just fine as well. Alright, I'm going to come over here and drop off all this hay we just collected, 53,000 liters, into our TMR mixer, which, last but not least, is one of the mods I'm going to kind of highlight here. So again, the purpose here is to just not show necessarily one mod, but the combination of mods and how you can leverage and use those for more efficient gameplay. And so this is one of the many kind of pieces to the puzzle here. This is a great food mixer for cows. You put in your hay, your silage, and your straw, and it will start mixing and produce over here on the output side TMR for you. So at this point we don't have any silage in there just yet. The reason for that is because we put all of our grass into our fermenting silo. So we've got 78,000 liters of grass in the fermenting silo. It takes time. I don't recall what the output per hour is. I will actually fast forward time and try to measure that for you guys before I end this episode. Once this makes silage, we can take it over there to our TMR mixer and get food for the cows. Alright, so I have picked up all the grass and hay. I went ahead and finished doing that. It took maybe another 10 minutes. I did finish it with this loading wagon. And I gotta say, I think my preference is really this wagon, just for speed and flexibility. This is kind of case in point as to why. I've now moved over here to my wheat harvest, and this is just a more flexible tool. I'm using it to pick up the straw on the wheat harvest, and it picks it up, much faster than, one of the in-game or one of the other loading wagons, and we can get it collected faster, dumped into the TMR mixer, and start making food for those cows a lot faster. So this is just a little bit more multifunctional. Probably the method of the two I would recommend over the Windrower and the in-game loading wagon. And our fermenting silo at this point has made plenty of silage, so I went ahead and grabbed a trailer full to dump into the mixer here. I want to go ahead and do a test and figure out the rate in which the mixer produces the TMR output. And the answer is 9,000 liters an hour. So I sped up time, and right at an hour pass, and it produced 9,000 liters in that hour. So for any of you who may have asked or interested in using this mixer, the production rate is 9,000 liters an hour. All right, we did a long day's work. It's nighttime at the farm. That means it's time to hit the sack soon. But just to recap, I did a measurement on the fermenting silo. It produces 8,000 liters an hour. So at a rate of 8,000 liters per hour, it will turn your grass, hay, alfalfa, etc. into silage. And again, this was more or less intended to be a suggestion forum and a mod showcase. And to recap the mods that we looked at today, we had our Easy Cut Mower by Winston 9587. All these yellow mods here are going to be by Winston. We tested out the Cat Swadro 2000, he calls it, but the Windrower. We tested out the Forage Wagon with a built-in Windrower, and for sake of efficiency, I have to admit this is probably a better option than the standalone Windrower. But again, you can use the Follow Me mod and run the Windrower with a in-game or different Forage Wagon behind it, and it works all the same. And then of course we used the adjusted working speed mod, and we used the fermenting silo mod as well as the food mixer mod for TMR mixing. I will link all of these mods in the description below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Drop me a comment if you want to see more like it while we await FarmSim 22 to come out. I've got some other farm builds that I've done here recently. If you like this content, feel free to check out my farm build series playlist. Have a look at those farm builds, and it's likely I'll be doing something similar to this episode on those farms, just giving an opportunity to go play those farms and showcase a few more mods. Till next time, Farmer Z out.